wanted to change, and I was taking the first step to doing so. I just had a baby, so I got a newborn, 3 other kids, sleep deprived, tired, but I was still focused on trying to better my health. I was told I had to make an appointment with my PCP because we had to do nutrition appointments in order to get approved. It was a list of requirements. So I had to do 4 visits with my PCP about nutrition. I had to see a nutritionist, either find my own, but they provided one, and I had to pay $50. I had to get a cardio clearance. I had to get a psychiatric clearance, and I also had to get the clearance for my PCP. Now, that process was very tedious to me. For one, when I was doing the appointments for my PCP, they did not say that it had to be in the same month. So my first appointment was in the end of December, so I'm like, okay, I'm on the ball. I'm starting things early because it all depends on how long the process is for you to get all those requirements done, and then you have to send it off to your surgeon. They have to view it and then send it to your insurance so you can get approved. Now, I was excited. December 29th was my first appointment for my PCP. Then I had one in January, and then I had one the middle of January, and then I had one in February. Now everything's going good. She's talking about plans of how to diet and what I could eat, giving me advice on what to do to get prepared for my bariatric surgery. Beginning of February, I had an appointment to see the nutritionist, which was probably in the middle of February. I was excited about that because it was just, going on yeah, I've done this already. I'm checking off the list on what I had to do. I'll probably get it, March, April. That's in my mind. I'm an impatient person. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, I'm getting everything done fast. I probably get the surgery fast and stuff. So I'm like, all right, I'll go to the nutritionist appointment. It was very, very informative. And I'm just like, girl, are you ready for this lifestyle change? Are you ready to do this diet? Are you ready to change your eating habits? And I had to say, I'm ready for all of that because a time has come where I had to choose my health. The nutritionist part, they was telling us what to eat, how much vitamins we're gonna have to take after for a lifetime. I wasn't ready for that part. I was like, whoa. I am not ready to be taking pills. I'm not even a good pill taker. So I was like, I'm not ready to be taking pills for the rest of my life. But I'm like, if this is the lifestyle that I want to choose, I'm just going to have to abide by the rules that is given to me. That's why I said that, I was saying bariatric, which was totally wrong. It's bariatric. So don't come for me in the comments in my first video. So bariatric surgery, it's hard. It's not easy. It's things that you have to, take in consideration other than going through the physical surgery of things after surgery. So in the nutrition appointment, we're talking about what we have to drink before the surgery and eat, and she was talking about also what we had to do after the surgery. And I was just anxious but excited at the same time on this new change that I'm about to endure, and I'm just I'm so ready for this, and I'm just you know what, I can't wait to start. I can't wait to do it. So February, the middle of February was for my nutrition. Then March, I had one appointment before I went to New York City on vacation, and I had an appointment for my cardiologist. Now, I did the appointment for the stress test. Mind you, they had me running on a treadmill. I never ran on no treadmill. I was out of breath. I have asthma. I forgot to tell you in that first video, I'm asthmatic. So I'm on the treadmill. They want to put it to the highest extent. So I got to do this for 6 minutes straight. I was out of breath ma'am, I can't breathe. I'm over here huffing. Are you okay? I need to sit down. I am tired. I haven't done no type of physical workout in I don't know how many decades. So doing this was taking a toll. Remember, I was extremely overweight during all this time. So I think I had to do 6 minutes, and I did 4 minutes and some change. He was you was almost there, man. Y'all was holding my back so I wouldn't fall off the treadmill. I'm over there on it, and y'all speeding it up. I didn't even know they was going to do that. They was speeding it up. I'm like, I'm about to fold up this thing. So my cardiologist said, hey, you know, we didn't really get a good test of the stress test, so I'm going to set an appointment up for you to do a CT. So they want to make sure that my heart is healthy enough for me to withstand the surgery. So I was a little discouraged and upset that, you know, the stress test that they wanted me to do wasn't good enough. And with that, they was making my appointment so spaced out. So I had an appointment in the beginning of March. He made my appointment at the end of March. The beginning of April, actually. Not even the end of March, the beginning of April. And I was just getting so discouraged. Like, why is y'all making all these appointments so far apart? And I'm trying to get this surgery because I'm an impatient person. So I had to wait until the beginning of April. I had to do a CT. And, like, I had to wait. My appointment was, so I did it in the beginning of April. I had to wait 2 weeks for them to call me back to tell me about the information. And I was just like appalled on why do I have to wait 2 weeks for y'all to call me back. So, you know, I was a little upset about that. And even though I was able to get my information online through the patient portal, basically he told me, you too fat. It wasn't a good picture of your heart, even though it was a medical term for it. But basically that's what it was, because I Googled it. And they wanted to do it again. So they did it again. I had to wait 2 more weeks for my appointment and then wait 2 weeks to hear back from them. So now at this point, I'm highly discouraged. And I was just like, I'm so upset right now. Like, I don't think I'm going to get my surgery, because if they can't get a good picture of my heart, then they're not going to approve, you know, for my cardiac clearance. And I won't be able to get the surgery. And they finally told me, like, hey, you got your clearance, because I had to go back in. So they was like, you got your clearance. I was excited for that. Like, yes. 2 more things I got to do. I got my clearance for the psychiatric part. And it was just 1 more thing. So now, after we get all my information, we have to send it to the surgeon. So, like, I'm getting all my information. I'm calling my doctors to make sure they can fax it over to them, so they can receive it. I'm calling the surgeon, you know, make sure that they're receiving the information that my doctors are giving them. It was so much miscommunication. I was through. I was just like, it's too many bumps and obstacles I gotta go over. I feel like I'm not going to get it done because, like, no one's communicating correctly, and I was just getting frustrated. I really hate doing things over the phone because I feel like nothing really gets done like that. So once I finally got my information to the surgeon, I had about 4 things already that was sent to them. The nurse, I'm calling like, hey, did y'all receive my information from my doctors? The nurse go on a vacation for 2 weeks. I'm like, why you just didn't give your load to somebody else? I had to wait 2 weeks for her to come back just to tell me, like, yes, you're missing 1 thing. I was through, because I was like, I kept calling, asking that just for this whole reason where I didn't have to wait again. She received it. They're going to send it off to the insurance. And this process took so long. Like I told you, I started in December. And this process went all the way into August. So I'll let y'all know how that part goes. This is part 2. Stick around.